Okay guys, this is Cruise Roy with the Predator Gasser 231. I think it's a Hanson. It says Hanson on the pull starter, but it could be just a pull starter. It could be just a factory 231 or 230. It's a Noah engine. It has a Walbro WT645 on here. What I ordered was, it came with a new isolator and Teflon gaskets. I might use the Hanson one, I'm not sure yet, but these are a lot thicker to keep the heat off the carburetor. So I'm going to change that out first before I try to, and then I'm going to do the settings again right in front of you, start it up, see what it does. Let me start by taking the air cleaner off here. I've always had trouble with this bird. It's been sitting on a shelf more than anything else. I know if someone else, like on a forum, they could help me out, they would. I'm just not available for that help right now, so I'm trying to do it over the forums. But like I said, first things first, let me change out. Try to do this in parts. I want to try to change out the gaskets because this only had a paper gasket between the carb and the isolator, but a Teflon between the block. Alright, there's the carburetor. We're just going to set that aside. Here's the paper gasket. I know people think it's on backwards, but this one has two holes. It could be either or, and it was lined up. The new Teflon one is only going to be on one side. That's a lot thicker isolator block, but I don't know if I can use the larger gasket. I'd like to use the larger Teflon gasket. Comes with some new stainless steel bolts here, but let me take this off the motor. If I can use Hanson's isolator, it's a lot thicker than this new one. This one's a lot smaller. There's two types and I have the larger one already. It's just I need to replace the gaskets. I don't know, there's a thing about some people don't like the Teflon gaskets. I don't know. I'm just having a hell of a time with this motor here. I fired up my Trex, but it has a different, the Trex motor has a whole different cooling system and fan. Alright, so here's this isolator block. I'll take that gasket off, and this one's going to have to go this way. I wonder if the screws are long enough to make this one. Should be. Yeah, that's not lining up too good. Alright, what do we got here? It's a little bit crooked here, but the port lines up that way. If I flip it, okay, that's the way it's supposed to go, just like that. Oh, silly. Hold on a second. Let me put them both in here. Yeah, and then we're just going to try starting from scratch on the tuning. See what we get this time. I'm going to back this off a little bit. Here, a thread click. I said, this is a lot thicker Teflon. Trying to get it kind of torqued down the same amount here. Okay. Now here's the other Teflon. It's a lot thicker than the paper gasket. That was the old Teflon one, kind of beat up. Not showing any leaks, but the you can see the 2-cycle oil kind of burning through. Alright, so this one will have to go this way to line up with the holes. Pretty self-explanatory on that one. And it also lines up with the hole on the W245. A piece of Teflon there. Oh, hold on, what do I got here? Nope, throttle came off. Knocked it off. Alright. I just want to make sure my choke's moving here. Choke's still moving. Choke's working. Okay, I replaced the isolator block. This one was a little thinner than the original Hansen one. It's a lot bigger. And the two other gaskets here we'll put aside. Alright, so that was step one on changing over the gaskets. Carbon choker right back. The bulb's working, which it normally does. And the problem was when the motor got hot, it wouldn't feed fuel to the carburetor anymore. Alright, so I'm going to take off the blades, the main blades, check the jets, and go from there, and we'll start her up and see what it does. Okay guys, this is Cruise Roy again. Just going to put my throttle linkage back on. Step one was I changed out the isolator block Teflon gaskets. Predator gasser. Let me move my radio here. What I'm going to do now is check the low and the high needle. I'm going to set them to the recommended 1 1/4, 1 1/4, and we're going to play with the low needle first, and then put the blades on maybe and play with the high needles. Just so I can show you what's going on here. Alright, so let me tip the bird. Alright, I just want to check to make sure she's still in camera. Alrighty, let me zoom in here a little bit. Alright guys, so the low needle, of course, is closest to the engine. The high needle setting is kind of where the fuel's coming in. So I'm going to double check what's going on here for turns, what I had while I was playing with it before. And I'm going to put them both back out 1 1/4. These are a pain because they're underneath. It'd be a lot nicer if they were up above, but let me see. That's 1 and like a quarter. That's where the low was. It was like 1 1/4. So we're gonna do it 1 1/4 out. Seeing as it was straight up right here, that's 1 turn and a quarter of a circle right there, 1 1/4. All right, high needle setting. Here's the high needle. I want to turn it in first to see what we got. It's 1 1/4. So they were both 1 1/4. So let me back them back out. 1 and then a quarter turn. All right. So I'm going to start it, and we're gonna work on that low needle setting first. It's going to be tough. I'm going to have to keep tipping it up and down, and hopefully it doesn't affect it. Let me put the bird back down. Make sure I'm still on the camera here. Back up on the zoom. Alright. So now we can turn the radio on. Turn the radio on. I hope the table can take this bouncing around. Let me connect the battery. Wait for the gyro to initialize. Just want to tie my wires. Alright, so we already pumped the fuel. My trim's set on, hopefully where I think it's supposed to be set to start it. I'm going to try to start it on this table, see how it goes. Let me choke it. Choke is already on. Oop, that was a snapback, wasn't it? Alright, that throttle seems a little high. I'll drop it down mid-stick. On it, but she's spinning pretty fast because there's no weight on the head. But I'm going to let it warm up a little bit, and